The topics and opinions expressed in the following show are solely those of the hosts and their guests and not those of W4CY Radio, its employees, or affiliates. We make no recommendations or endorsements for radio show programs, services, or products mentioned on air or on our web. No liability, explicit or implied, shall be extended to W4CY Radio or its employees or affiliates. Any questions or comments should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for choosing W4CY Radio.
Inarticulate speech, inarticulate speech of the heart. Inarticulate speech, inarticulate speech of the heart. Inarticulate speech, inarticulate speech of the heart.
Hello, and welcome to It's Your Voice, the show that hosts enriching conversations in diversity. My name is Bahia Yaxan. I'm a core alignment coach, an emotional wisdom training specialist, and a diversity educator. And I want to say I am actually right at this moment in the home of some very loved relatives who are taking great care of me. And in Kentucky. And I just want to send out our love and thoughts for all the Kentuckians who experienced a series of tornadoes and devastation, and to thank all the other Kentuckians who came to help rebuild. Just a beautiful display of caring for other people and beyond Kentuckians, and nationally the help to help rebuild is so encouraging and inspiring. So thank you, dear family, and thank you, dear Kentucky. I want to tell you that I lead programs in diversity education, classes, courses online, and whenever possible in person. If you're interested in looking at my programs of how to identify patterns of bias that are harming people, you could be yourself, others, your agency, your school, please find my website, knowwhatyouvantcoaching.wordpress.com. And you'll see there are a lot of options, and you can contact me that way and make an appointment. Tonight, I'm super excited. I have two guests, and one live from Nepal, which is like unbelievable. And I'll just try to briefly share that we all three met in Nepal in the 80s. And Kavita Gurung was our language teacher. Maria was a colleague of mine in the Peace Corps when we met Kavita, who was a marvelous language teacher. And she will be our featured guest. And Kavita is the executive director of the Mahila Shakti Bikash Kendra Nepal, which, in translated English, I love it in English too, Women's Power Development Center, Nepal. And I even want to talk about the name of that when Kavita's on in a minute. And Maria is she's the executive director of Pine Run Retirement Community Center, but she's also has founded an organization called Amaturi, which means mother daughter. So we have two amazing people, and Maria reconnected me to Kavita, and I'm so grateful. And I want to say one more shout out to Kathy Shrestha and her husband Suman Shrestha, who sent pictures, some snapshots from Nepal that we'll show you at some point. So Kavita and Maria, thank you for being here.
Oh, it's my pleasure. It's so nice to see you after 30 years, 32 years. Yeah.
Yes.
So nice. Yeah. When you said that, hi, Kavita, then I was so happy because of Maria. Maria, she just connected with us. And actually, Maria was in Nepal after earthquake, right? So that's how we met, and she has been coming to Nepal and supporting our organizations, women. So I'm so happy to have this interview.
Wonderful.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Well, oh my gosh, my pleasure. And Maria, you have the biggest heart. Honestly,
Yeah.
I know that you have been back many times and such a solid
Mhm.
supporter. And I'll just maybe ask Maria, how did you reconnect? Did you ever lose connection
Sure.
with Kavita, or did you stay in touch the
We
whole time ever since the day you met her?
Facebook is a beautiful thing, and we reconnected on Facebook. And in 2015, after the earthquake hit, that's when my real focus was to stay in touch. And at that time, I spoke with Kavita, and she connected me with some other people. And we just reestablished our friendship. And, thank God for Facebook. And then just decided to go and help, and have been back almost every other year since then.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's a commitment. So Kavita, I would
Yes.
love, there's so much I want to ask you about. And we thought maybe after, I really want to feature your program that you developed
Uh-huh.
and
Yeah.
and give you an opportunity to share what it's doing and how effective it is. And then perhaps afterwards we can talk about Maria's foundation and some fun facts about Nepal. But please let us know, how did it begin, and
Okay.
why do you love the program? Why are you so
Oh.
dedicated?
Thank you, Bahia. Actually, after you know that Nepal was there was a 10 years of insurgency conflict. Conflict was there in Nepal for 10 years. After the restoration of peace, we thought that I had an opportunity to have 1 year long training, but it was four events of training. That was conflict transformation. And during that period, we had to make a action plan. And why not to see that? Because after there was a peace, but still there are so many conflict between women. Actually, we were. I was targeting. Maybe we need to focus on women. There are so many women who are being victims of conflict, right? And also there was a woman who was being single because of their husband was killed by the Maoist or the state, right?
Yeah.
But there was a community, and they were in their community, but they were uh, in the community. There were all women, and they were suffering from the killing of their husband. And also there are so many children who felt that they have been neglected, and women are also neglected, and they felt that they have so many pain in their mind, in their heart, right? But they were living in the same community, but they had kind of, she was killed by the her husband was killed by the state, and her another has been killed by the army or somebody else. So because of that, there was a tussle between them, right? So they were not, they don't want to interact with each other, even though they were staying in the same community. So we went to those community, and first of all we found out those datas where we can work with them, right? So there was we went to we have targeted Arukum, which was one of the most hit areas, and also Rolpa and Koilali, where there were so many women, but they were dissatisfied with, right? So
Yeah.
and so we went there, and several times we visited there, and there was an NGOs which we chose, and we thought that maybe we can gather them into one place, both side women, right? It was really difficult for us to gather them to collect them. But
Took a lot of
anyhow, yeah,
conflict
yes,
resolution
yeah,
skills.
yes, and we gathered there, and actually in Rukum we had 96 women in that place, who were widowed, or we would say single women. They were gathered, and lots of trainings and kind of psychosocial trainings, that sort of thing. We we did that. Because of that, the meditation things, right, and trust building exercise, that so many trainings were given, and from that they started to come together, and
Mhm.
they after that they have been organized as a group. And okay, there was a group, but what to do? There was nothing to eat, that sort of thing. So after that, we realized maybe they need some sort of leadership training and skill-based training. So after that, when they were organized into the group, then we thought that maybe they need some sort of skills which could survive them into their life, right? So they okay, after that they were reconciled, and they felt ease in that way.
Well, that's
And
a lot of work to
yeah,
bring a group
yeah,
of people to that
yes,
point.
yeah. And also in that, uh, after that they have been, I must say, they have been, let's say, they have been settled in that way. And from that experience, we started Mahila Shakti Vikas Kendra Nepal, because women have so much power, they can do everything, right?
Mm.
But they need one platform. So we started Mahila Shakti Vikas Kendra, and that sort of thing we replicate in our organization. And right now we are working in 12 districts, 12 districts, yeah. But it is not, we could not cover all the districts, but we have been working with some sort of municipalities, and we would say Gaon that is rural municipality. Uh, from there, right now we have more than 10,000 women. They are affiliated with us. So,
Wow,
and
that's
right
impressive.
now, yeah, and most of the time, what we do first, we do social training. There is actually, we have been working in three aspects. Like, first is social things, because for that, to for leadership, women need first to vocalize, right? They need to, though everybody can speak, but
Mhm.
still, yeah, they need some sort of skills to vocalize their opinion or their rights. So that's how we train them.
Mhm.
And second part is socio-political, because one of our our goal is to uh, s- settle women into the public arena, or any sort of political if they are willing to have go into the political parties, they are they are, they can, right? So that is how we do. Do series of training for them who are willing to go to the political parties, or in some of the, like, there are so many committees, like school committees or so many committees. So if they want to participate in that, they can go. And another aspect is economic empowerment, which
Mhm.
is they also uh, collect money, and also we provide some sort of money so that they can run their small business, right?
Wow.
So that is three components what we
Wow.
have
So
been doing so far.
wow,
Yeah,
that's
and
so
yeah,
holistic. The social and confidence and skill development
Yeah.
and the building your voice and
Yeah.
shaping your opinion, and then
Yeah.
having choices given to you about how do you want to act on it,
Yeah.
and do you want to contribute to political
Yeah.
influence,
Uh-huh.
schools, and then the foundation of economic
Yeah.
solidity so that you can
Yeah.
feed your family and have
Yeah.
security and stay
Yes.
active. That's
Yeah.
so impressive. And I I'm so curious. You said 10,000 women, and I know there are at this time when we last spoke 56 different ethnic groups. So
Yeah.
there must be a lot of diversity
Yeah. Yeah.
in
Yes.
in the 10,000 different women. So like
Yeah.
really even more praise to you for pulling
Yeah.
people to find
Yes.
common ground and through from coming from so many different
Yeah.
backgrounds.
Yeah. 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 Actually, in Nepal, we have 56 ethnicity. All right. Ethnic groups in the in exist, and it used to be 59, but three of them, I think they left, or I don't know, they don't want to be recognized as indigenous people. I don't know. So, but there are 56 ethnic group, and around as I said, that there are more than 10,000. And in our last, what we had done is Web 1 and Web 2. With Web 2, this group, we have 10, more than 10,000. And before, uh, there are still, that group is there, but we have handed it to the community. So there are 12,000, more than 12,000, who are still working. And they have, what they have been saying is, even though Mahila Shakti Vikas Kendra left us, but we will be keep moving, and we will be going so far.
You'll
That
be
sort
able
of,
to sustain.
yeah,
Wow,
sustain.
wow, that's really
Yeah.
matters to not just initiate and set something up, but to make it
Yeah.
sustainable so people
Yeah.
can count on it and trust it.
Yeah.
And before we show photos, I would love you to describe the photos. I would like to ask Maria, can you say like when you got involved? And I know she was bragging to me, Kavita, about what you do and how powerful it is and what she witnessed. So Maria, can you describe
Sure.
some of that to me?
It's incredible. And Kavita is very humble because the trainings that they do for women are phenomenal. There are women in Nepal who didn't realize that they did not need to be raped by a brother-in-law or a father-in-law. There are women that didn't know that they had actual human rights. And I've witnessed the trainings that Kavita's staff do. We went out into the villages and we sat with women and helped them understand the rights that they have, the abilities that they have, and that they can be financially independent from a father, a brother, or a husband, and that they can also be independent um, from a life of fear. And so it's just incredible what they do in terms of the trainings. Women come freely to the trainings, and it was just incredible to see a woman learn that she has a right not to be attacked, that she has a right to be safe. And for her to see and learn that the first time was just very humbling for me to watch folks understand that they really do have rights. It was incredible.
Wow, that is so powerful.
It,
Wow.
it really was.
And you got to witness that transforming.
Exactly. The last time I was there was just in January of 2020, just before the pandemic. And we went out to some of the villages and we saw some trainings. We did some medical clinics, and women came, and for the first time in their lives, they had a GYN examination, or they had their blood tested for diabetes. They had their blood pressures checked, and they were fearful coming to this. And the women would come, and then Kavita and her staff would encourage them and say, you can do this. You want to be checked because you want to be healthy. And there were a number of women who were found to have medical conditions that day that they didn't know they had. So that was another real eye-opening experience for myself and one of the people in on my board of directors who came with me. Again, very humbling to see women drawn into a program that will benefit them, that will provide them medical care that they didn't even know about. So it's incredible. The 10,000 people, the 10,000 women, they are out. They are talking to the women in the village. They are pulling girls, getting them to be trained, training women to be seamstresses, to be educators. It is quite, I know I keep saying it, but it is quite phenomenal just to see how all of this kind of comes about, and just to see the expression on the women's faces when it kind of clicks to them that they have basic human rights, and that they can develop a skill and become economically independent of their fathers, their brothers, and their husbands.
Wow.
And I apologize. I'm pitching my dog Treat so he doesn't talk to us during this.
You've heard, my cat's been on the show before. Gosh, thank you so much for the mental snapshots, Maria and Kavita. Truly, you are very humble, and I'm so glad Maria could come and speak as an eyewitness to the incredible effects and positive successes of your story. That is just so heartwarming and so hopeful.
It is. And that's what we said to the women the very first time I was there in 2015. We went to a village and we took some school supplies. And on the way back, we stopped to meet with one of Kavita's women's groups. And I asked them, what is it that you need? And they talked about the trainings that they were getting. And that's when I really realized that women are not just taking care of themselves, are not just becoming educated themselves, but they're educating their daughters and their nieces and their granddaughters. And they are the hope for the future. They are the folks who will turn things around, who may be able to save their families from economic destruction just by being empowered and by being educated. So, it's the girls, it's the nieces, grandchildren, or the granddaughters of the women who are in the groups now that really are, Bahia, as you said, the hope for the future.
Yeah.
Wow. Just really, truly rippling out. Just exponentially, generationally.
Absolutely.
Well, Kavita, can we ask our wonderful sound engineer to start showing the photos, and you describe what's in the photos?
Okay.
Thank you again, Maria.
It was in I think it was a training that was leadership training. Maybe I forgot to mention you that our organization is fully financed by the McConnell Foundation, which is based in Redding, California. So we are very fortunate that two of our organizations are fully financed by McConnell Foundation, and we were we said that we may need some sort of training, right? Leadership. So there was a series of training, which was first our mentor, our guru is John Paul Ledrak. Maybe you have heard. He is the peace builder and he is professor of Crux University. But I think he has been retired now, but he is still, he is the professor, visiting professor to so many countries. So, and first 2 series of training he did that, and after that, that was the photo from that training. It was given by Roxy. It was in Dhulikhel. So I was presenting what we had done so far. So that was me and all of our group, MS Begin. In short, you can say just MS Begin, which is very short form of Mahila Shakti Vikas Kendra Nepal. So these are all our colleagues, my friends. Because of them, I am here. If not, then I cannot be there because they are the one who just work so hard, and also in the field. So, this is actually this was in one of my relatives' place where I was invited in Dashai. So that was with I think it was with my daughter, and I was enjoying Dashai.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Look at
Thank
that
you.
smile.
And this was someone's party, I think. Yeah, a wedding party. So I was enjoying, and I just like to laugh.
Oh, good. That's healthy and happy with the work
Yeah.
that you do. I'm glad you
Yeah,
take some
I'm
time
very
to.
much satisfied with my work. And whenever I go to the field, and when I see their transformation within 5 years, 3 years, I feel so glad. Our colleagues, our field staff, everybody, they are so dedicated towards their work, which I feel so proud of them. And I
I
feel,
bet.
yeah. And also, I always indebted to the Makonel Foundation, who have been, we have started our organization in March 2008. Since then, Makonel Foundation has been supporting us financially, and they have been coming to Nepal thrice a year, I guess. Yeah, our donors, they are very supportive. And now Maria is also there, who has been supporting in so many ways, like for supplies, or for food relief when there was COVID, right? So during that time, we had to. There were so many people who were who does not have to eat. So in that case, Maria just sent to $2,000 or $3,000 for them, which was really, really good for them. And also, Makonel also supported us for that. So I am always been indebted.
Yes, and Maria keeps us informed stateside. um,
Yeah,
such a great
yeah.
connector and contributor. And did you see the comment, Kavita, that you're beautiful inside
Oh,
and outside?
oh. uh,
You're beautiful inside and
uh,
out. True, true. Thank you, Rachel.
Thank you, thank you.
And can we show the other photos that you sent?
Uh, this is one of my school friends who got married with American Peace Corps
Oh, okay.
volunteer. Uh-huh.
Okay.
She's Usha Little, and last time it was 2020 when she came to Nepal and visited my home, and he's my husband. and
Ah,
that's me.
nice.
And this, you can see one beautiful face over there. Foreigner.
I see a
She
lot
is
of beautiful
our,
faces.
yeah, yeah. All are beautiful, and
Yeah.
but different, different one. She
Yes, the one
is
that stands out.
our, yeah, yes. She is Jessica Ron, who is the uh, uh, international director for McConnell Foundation, who comes Nepal several times, but due to this COVID, she could not. But she really loves to come to Nepal and loves to visit our field. This is Tanahu, where we visited last time. It was in 2017 or 18, I guess. Yeah, 17. It was in 17. Yeah. Oh, this was fortunately. Do you have any idea about these? These is actually the married women
Oh, yes.
get fasting. Uh, we don't. I can't fast for the whole day, but we celebrate it because every the festival, Nepal. You know that Bahia. In Nepal, there are so many festivals we celebrate. So, fortunately, by that time, Jessica was there, and we gave her bangles during that time. That was the thing.
Lovely gift. Oh, look at this.
Oh,
The
it must
malas.
be somewhere in Asan, maybe, or nearby Pashupatinath. So
Yes.
there are so many garlands and shawls. It must be very cold days. That's why there are shawls over there. And namaste. Stupa.
Is this
Yeah,
Bodhanath?
Bodhanath. Yeah. Uh, when you were here, it used to be very nice. You can see from outside of. But right now, all over there are so many houses, tall houses has been built. So Bodhanath is little bit in the middle of.
Hmm.
Uh, so
And just one little
nice
tiny
place.
snapshot of the
Yeah,
amazing,
yeah,
amazing,
yeah,
expansive range of Himalayas.
yeah. Nepal is really, really beautiful place. Yeah,
Stunning. And blooming mustard.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
Kavita.
It's in.
I was just gonna say we saw that all over Deokori, probably probably every valley that can grow mustard.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You were in Dang, right?
Deokori.
Yes.
Deokori.
Yeah. Oh, Deokuri. Okay.
Yeah. And that last picture, was that Dunbar? Or that's not Bhaktapur, is it?
I think it's in Patan.
Patan, yes.
Patan. Yeah.
That's right. That's what Kathy said when she sent the
Yeah,
pictures.
Patan or Bhaktapur. I'm always confused. I get confused with Patan and Bhaktapur.
Oh, it's not just me.
Yeah,
I think that was cotton.
Patan. Yeah,
Okay.
Yes.
Yes, I think that's what Kathy said.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
the one who said
Okay.
Bhaktapur. Thanks,
Yeah.
Maria. So, gosh, I'll give you a little break, Kavita. Let's ask,
Okay.
and thank you again. And um, we're not done yet, but I want to give Maria a few minutes to talk about Amachuri Foundation.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. So we really became a 501c3 with a main focus of helping women and girls. As Kavita said, the McConnell Foundation out of California, they provide her with funding for all kinds of trainings. But when I spoke with Jessica, what the ladies really needed was a place to meet. But the McConnell Foundation could not support an infrastructure. So we have been raising money and having community centers built where the women can gather for trainings. The last one we built is It has a roof, it has a solid foundation, and it has 2 charpies, which are outhouses. And the next thing we need to do is raise the money for the walls. But we did build one in Dulikil, Kavita? Oh, in
No,
Kavar.
no,
In
in
Kavar.
Cabre,
Kave, yes.
Cabre. Yeah.
And so that's our focus, our main focus prior to COVID. Since the pandemic, it's been more of a humanitarian relief. But prior to that, our focus is to build community centers where women can gather and be trained. So that's what we've done. It's been all grassroots. It's been some Peace Corps volunteers who are really involved and support the cause, and then they get it out to their friends. We've done crowdsourcing, social media. We've really tried to use social media. On Giving Tuesday, we put it out on Facebook. Our goal was to raise $5,000, and by 8 o'clock that night, we had raised $10,000. And we're hopeful that we will get the match from Facebook for that first 2 hours when we raised about $4,000. So social media really has been kind to us, and that is really our focus. Earlier in 2020, in the latter part of 2019, we funded a program, an educational program through the Peace Corps Partnership Program. So we went to 2 different countries and said, what is it that you need? And in one country, we supplied water tanks so there could be clean water at the schools. So girls could go all year round, every day of the month, without fear of being sent away. And then in the other program, we provided funding for education. So it was an educational training to help families, parents understand how to support their daughters and how to empower their daughters. And all of this is a product of learning from Kavita in 2015 and really understanding the need for education for women and girls. And I learned that the very first trip with Kavita, when she took us around and we met with people, we talked with women to understand what it was they needed. So really she is the inspiration for the Amachori Foundation. She really is.
Wow. And Amachori means mother-daughter.
Amachori means mother-daughter. So when I established the foundation, I wanted to connect it to Nepal, but I also wanted it to be broad enough that we could give money in any third world country. And I went back and forth with names, and Amachori seemed to be the most appropriate because our focus is mothers and daughters, daughters and granddaughters. So that really was our sole focus and really gave us our identity and really is our identity. So it was only appropriate to be mothers and daughters.
And appropriate people to serve. When we were there in the 80s, the education was not accessible in so many different rural parts of Nepal. It was and so so many women didn't even know how to write their own names. They couldn't sign their own signature.
Exactly.
And didn't know the national language, couldn't speak Nepalese. And where I lived, I could use Nepali thanks to language teachers like Kavita. But we know that meant we could really communicate with men and educated people who also had the benefit of going to school and learning the national language. And we lived in different areas with different groups of people from different ethnicities and different languages, we had to either learn how to communicate using kind of universal sign language and body language, and they would know some Nepali and I would know some Taru where I lived, and you almost had to learn another language to really have conversations because they did not have access to the national language of their own country. So, I mean, that's the background, and that's why this focus on women and children is so significant and so founded and so needed.
Exactly. That's exactly it. Education and empowerment. Those are the two words, really. Educate women, and once they are educated, they are empowered, and from there, the sky's the limit.
Yes.
This is huge, Kavita. I'm so grateful, and when the design of a program comes from someone who knows the values and is from a place, it is going to be so much more positively impactful with fewer, I think, unintended consequences. And I'm just so grateful. Did you know this when you were a language teacher? Did you have this idea? Did you have this
No. When I was working as a Peace Corps language trainer, then I was very tiny. I was very small. I don't know. I knew nothing. What was my goal? I did not know anything. It is
Wow.
time has changed, and
so impressive. Yes. Speaking of changing times, we have about 5 more minutes, and it'd be really, I think, like fun and amazing to just share some more information about Nepal in general. And one thing that I know, at the time when we arrived, it was still called a peaceful kingdom, and there was truly the reality of, I was so impressed in how Hindus, Buddhists, and Muslims could genuinely peacefully coexist. I mean, there was this, and almost share temples or share practices. There was just amazing. Coming from a country where there's can be so many like arguments and divisions and fights, like even back then, nothing like it is now. But we'll get through this. We will heal more and unify more over time. I truly believe, because it's just benefits everyone. And I think everyone really wants more unity. But I remember Nepal just being outstandingly a model of like incredible empathic understanding of different people, like not judgment about different people's ways. But Nepal has been through so much in this short period of time. And I'll just be quiet and see what, like, Kavita, anything else you want to share about Nepal? And Maria, just we got like a few more minutes.
Nepal. We just what, as a religious point of view or any other thing, we are. I think we need peaceful. We need peace in the country, right? So, and also we celebrate all of the what do you call religion, like Hinduism, Buddhism, Christianity. There are lots of people getting into Christianity these days. I respect all, because I was my schooling was in the mission school, so we had to go through Bibles and through those things, and we had to pray all in the morning. So that sort of thing. So I always honor every kind of all kinds of religion, right? And as we have been saying, that we have our radio program broadcasted from 6 districts, and where people can, or especially this is for women, so women can learn what is their rights and how can they go to talk to, right, those sort of things. So yeah, and also what we think is girls, the next generations are the future of the country. So we are targeting more and more girls into our community, so that they can learn from their ancestors, or from their seniors, for the betterment of their. Though they are these days, all girls can have opportunity to go to the school, but still in the village, if you go to the village, because of their they have to take care of their bhai bahini, their siblings, so they can't go out to the schools. But we are encouraging them to go to the school, because the school is free of cost in the middle level. So that is the thing. And
That's
I think the
fantastic.
chains, we are the change maker.
You are the change
And
maker.
yeah, we are the change maker. Actually, the ground
Yes.
people are the change maker. I said. So
Fantastic. Well, I want to give you the final word, but let's we have just really have about a minute. So I wanted to let Maria, do you want to do you have a 30-second
Sure.
closing comment?
The one thing that we experienced, Bahia, you and I and our peers experienced in Nepal in 1985 was the kindness of the Nepali people. They embraced us. They took us in as their family, and they support us. That is still there. There may be some unrest. There may be differences in the political structure. They are definitely struggling because of the pandemic. But that empathy and that caring for individuals who come over to help them is still there. It's a warm, welcoming country. It's one of the warmest countries I've ever been to.
I'm so blown away by the incredible generosity and kindness of and where I lived in one of the most poverty-stricken parts of the world. Just unbelievable human compassion and sharing. We're out of time. Kavita.
Thank you so much.
Namaskar. Maria,
Hey, Kavita.
I see the light within you.
So
I'm
much.
so grateful to both of you and your
Thank you.
powerful work, and for empowering women who take care of the world. I really appreciate it. And I want to thank
so much.
our sound engineer, Roxy, and our producer, Dean, and all of our listeners and viewers. And be sure to tune in next Wednesday and U.S. Continental Time, 8 p.m. Eastern. And Kavita, thank you for waking up so early in Nepal. And to come see us at Talk 4 TV or tune in to W4CY Radio. Good night, everyone.
Thank you so much.
Inarticulate speech, inarticulate speech of the heart. Inarticulate speech, inarticulate speech of the heart. Inarticulate speech, inarticulate speech of the